think that of all keys, the key of E minor is the darkest and most dramatic of those that are available to us in standard tuning. And so for this piece that I composed, our chords are going to start with E minor to D major and then down to C major. So we're descending, and it has this very heroic, dramatic kind of vibe to it that I want to build upon by adding kind of a connection with the bass, right? So the way we're going to do that is by turning our standard D major chord into an inversion, where instead of having our D as our deepest note, we're going to swap that out for an F sharp on the 2nd fret of the low E string. And so now for the E minor, we have the open E. Now the D, we have that 2nd fret of the low E string. And then for the C chord, we're going to swap out the C as the lowest note in our chord for a G on the 3rd fret of the low E, like so. Okay, and the melody here is kind of in our arpeggiated idea, where we have octaves played together. Okay, that's thumb on the 6th string and index on the 4th string. And then we play the 3rd string, followed by the 2nd string, and then the 3rd string once again. Now we have this D over F sharp, as we call it, chord shape, and we're not playing the top half of this chord because I want everything to remain in the bass where it's kind of this dark and dramatic melody, right? So we just play the 2 fretted notes together. That's with my thumb and my middle on the 3rd and 6th strings, and then we have the open B string, and then this C over G chord, which we're also only playing strings 6, 5, 4, and 3 together. Okay, so all together. Okay. And now I want to continue this ascending idea with the bass, where we have open, 2nd fret, 3rd. We're going to go up to an A, which is going to be accompanied by the 2nd fret of the D string. This is like a A minor 7 shape. Once again, just kind of the bottom half. Then we play the open G. And then we just drop these 2 fingers on here. So the index goes to the 1st fret of the B and the ring to the 3rd fret of the A for our C major chord, right? So that's why it's important to play this 2nd fret of the E with our middle finger, followed by the open G string. Okay, so it's octaves, then the G string, and then we play this descending bass. So what that is it's B, which is on the 2nd fret of the A string, then the open A string, 3rd fret of the low E, 2nd fret of the low E, and then open E. Actually, the open E is going to be part of our next segment, so we'll just stop on the 2nd fret there. And this is all notes from the E minor scale, which is why we can play these in this descending bass line. And another thing that makes it even more dramatic is by adding octaves. So instead of just playing, we're going to be... Okay, so the B string is accompanying this 2nd fret of the A. Then we go to the open A, we play the 2nd fret of the G string, which is also an A note. Then when we play this G, we play the open G string, which is obviously also a G. Then we go to this F sharp, we play 2 strings down and 2 frets up, so that's the 4th fret of the D string. And then we go to our E. Okay, so all together that looks something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this song is actually in 5/4. So I guess technically I should have counted to 5. It's a very interesting time signature. Now, when we go to this low E, the open E string, we're going to repeat our melodic idea, albeit in a higher octave. And there it changes a little. But what that is an open voiced E minor triad. Okay, so that's E on the 7th fret of the A string, and then G on the 8th fret of the B string, and B on the 7th fret of the high E. So we play this open low E, followed by the A string. Okay, and that's why I do a rest stroke. That's what we call it, where on this pluck of the open E string, I will allow my thumb to just fall into that A string so that it's already set up for that note. Then we arpeggiate the rest, so that's the 2nd string, followed by the 1st string, back to the second string. And now we play the top half of this bar chord shape for a D major. So I only need the 7th fret of the B string and the 5th fret of the high E. I'm playing the open D string along with that second string, and then just playing the high E string by itself. And now we go to this very similar chord shape, right? Just shifted down 2 frets. It's like a C major. So that's 5th fret of the 3rd string, 5th fret of the 2nd, and then 3rd fret of the open, or of the high E rather. And we accompany this with the open A string. So an A with a C major triad above it is actually a minor 7. Okay, very, very beautiful chord in this key. So altogether we have, and there sometimes I like to do that finger roll, where instead of plucking them together, it's a very fast arpeggio that is done by just allowing your fingers to come off the strings as we tilt our wrist. Okay. And now to finish off this melodic motif, we're going to play some harmonics, and they're all natural harmonics. Okay. If you don't know how to play a natural harmonic, it's very simple. You just place your finger over either the 12th, 7th, 5th. You can play it over the 4th and 9th, but those are a lot more difficult. And it doesn't matter whichever string. And then you pluck with your other hand and just remove that finger from the string so that you can allow it to kind of ring out. Okay. So the harmonics we're going to be playing for this melody are 7th fret of the A string, 5th fret of the G string, and the 5th fret is going to be a lot harder. The 7th fret is slightly easier, the 12th is the easiest. Okay. So that is the 7th fret of the 2nd string. And now we play the open, or not the open, but the 12th fret harmonic of the high E string. The thing about doing that is when we're playing this piece, it requires a lot of jumping around if we're going to be going all with just this left hand for playing our natural harmonics. And so what I like to do is play it with my right hand. Okay, so I'm doing both the placing of my flesh over the 12th fret and the plucking with just my right hand, where my index finger is over the 12th fret and then my ring finger is doing the plucking. So you can choose to do it with either your right or your left hands. After that 12th fret, we go to the 7th fret of the high E, then the 12th fret of the 2nd, and the 12th fret of the 1st strings. And that very last resolution note on the 12th fret of the 1st string is accompanied by the open 6th string. Okay. And now we're going to go back around to the beginning of this composition, and this time around I want to develop the story a little bit more and make it a little bit less dark by swapping out this E minor chord for a G major. If you don't know, those are relative major and minor chords, respective to one another, so we can swap these out and they're very similar, right? And so the way that we're going to kind of walk into this G major chord is after this resolving harmonic, I'm going to play the open low E, then the 2nd fret. Okay, and this is walking up to that G note for our G chord. And we're going to play a very similar melody that we did the first time around, except for this time we're going to be on the G chord. Okay, so we're going to play the G and the open G string together, then the open B, back to the G, down to the D. And now instead of playing this inverted D major chord, we're going to play it just kind of standard, but still only playing kind of the deeper notes. So it's just going to be the 4th and 3rd strings. And I'm going to play both of them together open. And then we hammer on to the 2nd fret of that G string. Okay. Now we play the open B string and back to this beautiful inverted C chord. Okay, and now it continues just like it did the first time around with this A to C, walk down. And now we want to play this kind of higher register melody, but once again swapping out this E minor triad with a G major triad. And so the specific triad we're going to be playing is this kind of D major shape, okay, with our root on the 5th fret of the 4th string, and then we have the 7th fret of the G and high E strings. Okay, and we're going to play 4, then 3, and then 2 and 1 together, then back down to 3, and then we go to the same D chord as last time. Sometimes the second time around I like to make it even a little bit more full by adding in the 7th fret of the G string as well, instead of just that B string. So, and then that same A minor 7, okay? And we finish off with the same harmonic idea. Now, if you wanted to go back around for yet another cycle to the very beginning with the E minor, then we can set up this chord as well by going 3rd fret of the low E down to the 2nd. And then that sets us up perfectly for... Okay, so it would sound something like this if we wanted to cycle around. Okay, so I hope you find some inspiration from this mini composition I arranged. And once again, if you want the tabs, just head over to my free community, the Fingerstyle Guitar School, linked down in the description. See you over there.